Good morning!
We are sadly leaving Buenos Aires for now, but we are also really excited because we are getting to explore a new country today.
The first part of our travel day is going to be taking us here at Ministro Carranza all the way to the end of the Green Line here at Cathedral on the Sud Day. Before we leave Argentina, one final look at Plaza de Mayo.
Next up, we've got a bus.
We tried to get on not one but two buses, and that was all according to Google Maps. Like, it literally stated everything to do with the trip that we needed to do. And even when we showed it to the drivers to tell them that we wanted to get off at those stops, they turned around and said, oh no, we're not doing that. And they kept on pointing us to different bus routes that apparently would have taken us to the right place. And since we were running out of both time and patience, we've decided to just get a quick Uber to get to the port instead. Really annoying, but hopefully we're now on our way.
Part of our travel day is a ferry ride from here in Buenos Aires to our next country. My understanding is that there are a few different ferry operators you can choose from. I believe we went with the one that is most affordable. I can't give you an exact price because the price changes depending on the day on which you're traveling, as well as the time of day on which you choose to travel. However, I can tell you that for both of our tickets, it did cost us 102 Canadian dollars today at this particular time. The other thing to note is they ask you to be here an hour and a half before the ferry leaves so that you can check in and board, similar to an airplane. After you've checked in, you also go through immigration, so that means you leave Argentina and you get stamped into the next country.
Lovely and completely uneventful hour and 10-minute ferry ride, we are now here at Colonia del Sacramento in Uruguay.
This accommodation is costing us 98 Canadian dollars for 2 nights. That might sound expensive, and it is compared to what we normally spend, but that's just because we've heard that Uruguay is apparently the most expensive country in South America, so it's unavoidable. We got the best value for money that we felt comfortable with here, but we have nothing else planned for today, so we will pick this up tomorrow morning when we go out to explore Colonia del Sacramento. Good morning from Colonia del Sacramento, Uruguay. Since we are in a new city, what do we always do?
A free walking tour.
Except for this one's not free. I did have to book it through an agency. However, it's only slightly more than a free walking tour would be, so let's head out to the meeting point now. Colonia del Sacramento is a city in southwestern Uruguay that sits on the shores of the Rio de la Plata facing Buenos Aires. Curious about the Spanish ships sailing from Buenos Aires to Europe, King Peter II of Portugal sent Manuel Lobo to what is now Colonia del Sacramento in 1680. Since then, it's been constantly bounced back and forth between Spanish and Portuguese possession a grand total of 8 times.
Spanish colonizer José de Garro conquered the town in 1680, but not long after, in 1681,
Spain and Portugal signed a treaty returning it to the Portuguese Empire. The Spanish once again colonized the city between 1705 and 1713, but Colonia del Sacramento was returned again to Portugal in the Treaty of Utrecht in 1714. Portugal surrendered Colonia del Sacramento to the Spanish yet again between 1762 and 1763, but the Portuguese then regained control of the city by the end of 1763. In 1777, with the Treaty of Ildefonso, the city became a Spanish possession before being transferred back to the Portuguese Empire in 1811. Next, in 1816, Colonia del Sacramento was incorporated into the country of Brazil, where it remained until it was finally included into the country of Uruguay in 1828, and it has remained so ever since.
We've just finished our walking tour of Colonia del Sacramento, and we thought it was going to be a group walking tour, but it turned out to be a private walking tour. Our guide was named Lillian, and my goodness, she was a fountain of knowledge, and she just took as much time with us as she wanted, as we wanted. It's 2.5 hours later, and for a private tour of that length of time, we paid peanuts for it. I think it was maybe $16 each. What fabulous value.
Absolutely. I think in terms of everything that you could possibly learn, then she just had it in spades. And it was amazing because she's clearly a very much respected part of the community as well, because pretty much everybody that she bumped into was always like a short conversation or sharing the mate or something like that. So clearly we got in with absolutely the right person to go around this beautiful town.
We're not too sure what we're going to do with the rest of the day. I know we need to eat lunch, and we also need to book our bus ticket from here to Montevideo, but we don't really know where to do these things or when we're going to do them, so we'll just kind of take you along with us as we figure it out.
So Uruguay is a pretty expensive country. In fact, we've heard it is the most expensive country in South America right now. So therefore, finding affordable food options is a little bit difficult. However, we come to this place where they sell empanadas for 70 pesos. And don't get me wrong, they weren't the best, but as far as being functional and filling us up, then they've just about done the trick. What they also sell is pre-packed alfajores. These cost only 20 pesos each, so we're going to give these a go as well.
My question is, how does it compare to the absolute best alfajores in the entire world? I'm 100% positive that we had on our first experience in that one bakery in Buenos Aires.
I'll tell you what, considering the fact that these are pre-packaged, they're really not that bad. Like, I'm very, very happy with my choice. It's still really nice.
We've just managed to find the building where you can buy bus tickets from Colonia del Sacramento, where we are now, to Montevideo, and it is just up the street from the ferry port that you arrive at if you're coming over from Buenos Aires. Now, this was a bit of an ordeal for us because I originally booked the tickets online, and I believe they were $25 US each. And then the company emailed me a day later to say that the tour operator couldn't fulfill the ticket and that the next best price for a ticket was over $200 for the two of us. And so I just asked if we could get those tickets canceled and a refund, because I was really hoping that it would be a lot cheaper if we just bought them here, and that certainly was the case. We have acquired our tickets. They were 519 Uruguayan pesos each. So when you add that together, that's just over 1,000 pesos, and that comes to just over 37 Canadian dollars. So very, very affordable. And there are multiple buses a day. We have chosen to go at noon tomorrow. I'm just really, really glad we were able to sort this out, and hopefully you'll have an easier time of it now that we figured it out.
Despite only having done one thing here in Colonia, then that's basically all we got planned. We are only really using this as a bit of a stopover to get on to Montevideo. It's been a wonderful time, but we are going to wrap it up here, and we will see you tomorrow when we head on to Montevideo. So until next time, take care.
And keep smiling.